Welcome to another Chopping Block Top 5. I am Sanjay, this is
Chris. Hey.
And we are doing movies that made you appreciate a particular actor or made you a fan of a particular actor. So my number 5 is Dredd and Karl Urban. Now, this is a really underrated film, honestly. It's stupidly underrated, I feel like, or stupidly underseen. And Karl Urban just knocks this out of the park. It's a very restrained role, but I feel like, that's such a major part of acting that you can sometimes forget that you need an actor to fit a role. And he just does it. He does it. There's no better way to do Dredd.
He is Dredd.
This is the perfect role. And ever since I saw it, I was just like, I didn't realize he could, do something to this degree.
Right, yeah.
I hadn't really seen him stand out in anything, and I guess to a degree, because he didn't stand... I guess it's kind of strange. Because he didn't stand out and because he just owned this role, it's like, I really enjoy this actor. And then, watching him more so, following him has Bones now, I really love his performance. And yeah, that's a film that made me a fan of Karl Urban.
Yeah, I heard you, hot shot.
What?
I said, hot shot.
My number 5. Now, don't kill me. Don't bloody rip my throat out or anything. But hear me out. Rob Schneider in The Benchwarmers.
I'll give you a chance. All right. Go for it.
Okay, so Rob Schneider, right? We all know Rob Schneider. Just goofy, does stupid comedies where he plays some idiot character.
You're not selling me.
And though Benchwarmers is kind of one of these films, it's a goofy, just funny, silly comedy, but he's the lead in it. He obviously has done that before in The Animal and Juice Bigelow and stuff. But he just plays like the straight and narrow, clean cut guy where he isn't a goofy character. He's like a regular dude. And every time I watch this film, and I have watched this film a lot, I just can't help but admire him for the fact that I watch him and I go, oh shit, he's actually he's a really good actor. He just doesn't get the chance to kind of show off his skills, and I feel like it just creeps through in this film. And maybe I shouldn't be picking him above other people, but I'm just so impressed every time I watch this film that I just go, damn.
You are the heart and soul of this squad. I'll see you around, buddy.
My number 4 is The Pianist, Adrian Brody. So there's another film. It's really depressing, and Adrian Brody plays a Jew in the Holocaust era, so he's going through it. And prior to this, I think I'd only seen King Kong and be like, yeah, he's alright. But this was so emotional, and this made me just want to see him more. Unfortunately, some of the films that I've seen him in, even though I know his range now, have been a bit disappointing. But honestly, with The Pianist, it was he needs more big roles, because this was just amazing. There's one particular scene right near the end of the film where it's kind of he doesn't get captured, but it's near the end of the war, and he's in a room with a Nazi soldier, but the Nazis have kind of given up now, and the Nazi says, play me a song. And he plays the song on piano, and just his expression and just the song itself, it's just the summary of everything that he's gone through in this film, and it's just so well done. You can just see every kind of emotion on his face, and it just it just meets up with every emotion, that every kind of note that he plays on the piano. It's just so good.
My number 4, kind of an extension on my number 5. I've gone with Jim Carrey in the number 23. Before having seen this film, my only knowledge of Jim Carrey was just all his comedies, all the classics. I don't need to rattle them off. But then this was the first time I'd seen him do anything different to that, for me anyway. I hadn't seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I hadn't seen that before watching number 23. And I was just wowed. I was like, holy crap, this is Jim Carrey just being so dark and serious and playing these two sort of split characters within the film. I don't know, it was just a really bizarre experience to see Jim Carrey playing this role in this film, and that's why Jim Carrey makes my list. Just seeing him in a completely different light to anything else that I've ever seen him before.
You shut up, bitch.
My number 3, Sicario, Emily Blunt. Now, Sicario is a film that I feel like was kind of overshadowed by other films during the year that it came out, but it is so good. It is such a good film. There's so much tension, and the Emily Blunt's character is one that kind of channels all this tension and this kind of feeling of helplessness, and she just knocks it out of the park. Like every time I was watching her, there was kind of like concern, there was control, there was not knowing what was happening kind of thing, and she nails it. You don't know where she's quite at. You just know that she's kind of like a fish out of water in this situation. And then when she thinks she knows, the law of the land, she kind of gets the world, she kind of realizes like this isn't how the world works. How do we work in this kind of world? And I just love seeing her, in this situation, and I think she really brought a huge range of emotion and a lot of depth.
Yeah, love how we're gonna pretend like I planned this.
My number 3, and I won't say too much about this because we all know what the reasons will be once I say it, is Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. That dude, he just came out of nowhere with that Joker performance. It was insane, literally. Like, I barely even knew who he was, kind of. I knew his name. I'd seen a couple of things, like 10 Things I Hate About You, A Knight's Tale, that sort of thing. So I just thought he was this, hunky Australian dude who just played these, pretty boy roles. And then when there was kind of this controversy about when he got cast as the Joker. And I was kind of on board with that because, like, I didn't really know who he was except for this, young Australian kid. And then once I saw that, I was just, oh my god, that was incredible. Like, Mark Hamill's always been my Joker, and he still is. But, like, Heath Ledger just absolutely, like, near perfection, like, nailing the Joker, who is one of my favourite characters of all time anyway. And, yeah, I just felt like he nailed it. He gets so involved in the character. And, like, all the stories you hear about him preparing for the role, like, if even half of them are true, then that's just, like, the commitment to that role is just insane.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
My number 2 is Django Unchained, Christoph Waltz. Now, I know what many of you are thinking, that Inglourious Basterds came first. Bit of a confession here. I actually saw Django Unchained was my first Quentin Tarantino film.
I will stab you in the face.
Yep. But please
get out of my room.
We lived through Rob Schneider, right? Just let me speak.
Say goodbye to your Nazi balls.
Going into this, just like this is kind of cool. And as soon as he jumps out of his crazy dentist wagon thing and he starts speaking, and just his mannerism and just his expressions and just the way you want him to be, you want him to live. You just want him to be like a real person because he's just like, this guy's really awesome. I love this character. He's almost like a father figure to Django, and there was that kind of fraternal instinct that I thought was really good. But I just love the way he has like a far darker tone and this really kind of idiosyncratic, balance of personality. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like, he's got this mask of someone who's really kind of calm and collected, but then he can also just go nuts when he knows that he needs to.
If you insist.
Double-barreled one, same film, but two different actors within the same film. Southland Tales, both Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Sean William Scott. So for both of these two dudes, like up until seeing this film, to me The Rock was just The Rock from bloody WWE, and he's sort of these action roles and to some degree maybe like silly comedies and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Sean William Scott, obviously, Stifler and Dude, Where's My Car? And they both just play these real, like, kind of, like, deep and darkish characters. They're kind of both lost in this story. Dwayne Johnson, he plays this this actor, funnily enough, who sort of he's lost his memory from the last few days, I think, and he's trying to find out what happened, and there's this whole twisted story that unravels, and he finds out. But there's this one scene, and he's just doing this little twitchy thing with his fingers because he's really sort of agitated or nervous about something, and I don't know, he just like brought me to that emotion, you know. And yeah, Sean William Scott just knocks it out of the park in this film as well. He was incredible. It just made me think of him just in a whole new light. Just amazing. It was just like a bizarre moment watching that film, seeing those two dudes.
Do you remember Felushka? I remember everything.
My number one has unfortunately been spoiled. Yeah, that's alright though. That's alright. So Heath Ledger again, and for mostly the same reasons that you said. Like I saw him in A Knight's Tale and The Patriot, and I guess the main thing is when I watch The Dark Knight, I can't see Heath Ledger anywhere. This is one film where I'm just like, Heath Ledger's here, but I can't see him. I don't know where he is. I just see the Joker. Like every time I watch it, I try and find just some kind of mannerism, some kind of just even like how he speaks, anything, and I just can't see Heath Ledger. He's not there. He is the Joker, and I can't think of many other films where an actor just vanishes and fully becomes a character. And that I was just like, wow, that's acting. That is just on it.
I feel really bad for putting him down lower on my list now after you saying that. I think the only reason I did was because he was playing like a character where you have to do something different, if you know what I mean. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
But you make a very good point where he does completely disappear into that character. He is the Joker. So, yeah, that's a really good point. Now I feel bad.
You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things.
My number one, I don't know if this is an obvious one to anyone else, but J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. My goodness, that dude absolutely smashes it out of the park. Like, to me, before then, he's J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man series, and to me, he was always just this supplementary character.
Yeah.
But seeing him in this like leading role, co-starring role, like he just absolutely kills it so much. Like I was afraid of him, like, and not just of like the character being such a hard ass, but like just of the dude's talent, you know. Like, shit, that dude can act. Like I don't know about anyone else, but I just didn't see it coming. Like. I didn't see Whiplash when it came out at the cinemas. I caught onto it like maybe a little while later.
Yeah, same.
And because I kind of thought, oh, okay, you know, it's J.K. Simmons. He's gonna be some funny dude who's like this like music teacher or something.
Nope.
Nope. Boy, was I wrong. He went to a place deep within himself.
He's turned into a monster.
Do you think you're out of tune?
Yes. Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
All right, well that concludes our top 5 movies that made you appreciate an actor or actress more. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you check out all the films we've mentioned.
Yep.
And watch those delightful performances.
And maybe just tell us what films made you appreciate certain actors more in the comments if you want.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, etc., etc.
If we've missed some obvious ones, write them down here. We'll punch in the dick, whatever. But,
nice. That's us. See ya.
Peace.